What industry is booming way more than people think? Wastewater treatment. Shit does not go away. I work in the civil engineering industry. Wastewater treatment is not only a booming industry, but it's insanely hard to find wastewater engineers. I think they have got like a 0.5% unemployment rate or something insane. Maybe even lower. Hey, I am a commissioning manager for wastewater plants. I quit years ago to travel and have old jobs and recruiters blowing up my phone every day still like zombies. Lol. Using this thread for research to see what I can pivot to from my fuck-ass job. Utilities. Data centers are so desperate for energy they want their own nuclear reactors. I work for a utility company near Atlanta and all in just about 3-5 years the data centers became the largest load on electricity by a long shot. Before it was hospitals and shopping centers, but the data centers started pulling way more load. I work for a major transformer supplier as an engineer. I design the pad-mounted ones. We are pumping out transformers as fast as we physically can, but our order backlog is so long that it is being measured in years. Imagine ordering a PS5 and the projected shipping date is to 4 years later. We are experimenting on new stuff just to meet demand and efficiency standards that are not even published yet. I can't go into full detail, 'cause company secrets and all that, but it's insane over here. Sustainable packaging. Packaging in general with e-commerce. Problem is it's almost at a commodity level, so it's a price and cost or design and performance. Grid-scale battery storage. Used to store excess electricity from wind and solar farms for use during peak demand. This industry is huge and is growing exponentially, especially as the cost of batteries continue to drop and demand increases. Pest control. Quietly a 511% growth year over year. PE firms are buying the mom and pop shops like crazy. Anything over 1 million in revenue that shows a healthy business plan. PE firms will destroy this country lol. Healthcare. Veterinary clinics. Chain restaurants. Rental homes. Retirement homes, etc., etc. The list of the growth in PE-backed industries is scary AF. Evac. More areas where you used to get by just fine with an open window and a box fan are getting unbearably hot in the summers. In the UK, the VPN business is red hot. Mobile games. $92.5 billion made in 2024. Half of the entire video game industry. The second-hand clothing resale industry. Everyone talks about fast fashion, but vintage and thrift stores are quietly driving a huge economy. The problem with this for me, at least, is I can't seem to find a good in-between. The local thrift scene is overrun with overpriced crappy fast fashion and the other end is too expensive. Pet cremation. The used car market. I work on the back end in the commercial landing side for car dealerships. The tariffs or threat of on new cars has pushed used car prices towards ridiculous numbers. I occasionally show up at auctions to gauge market trends, and a 2017 VW Jetta with 133,000 miles hammered at $11,000. Plus auction fees and transport it will be $12,000, and that's before the dealer has done any repairs or made $1 of profit. Pre-COVID, a 8-year-old Jetta would be $1,000 tops, but people keep paying it. My market share has risen about 40% since January. Sports betting. As a big sports fan, I can't believe how out of control it's become. 10 years ago, it felt like it was a niche thing that your weird uncle did. Now you cannot go anywhere that has sports and not have it be a massive point of discussion. A large group of people, mostly men, are completely incapable of watching a sport now without having money on something, or yammering about their parlay. I wish it was similar to cigarettes where they can't advertise it. Or even regulated like alcohol where you can't show anyone actually partaking having fun in ads. It's chipping the integrity of sports. Energy. Particularly electricity due to high demand. Electricity demand has been pretty slow and steady the past couple decades due to better efficiency, but now AI has caused a huge spike. Especially when the industry was already changing due to increased renewables and the phase out of coal. For now, I feel like natural gas will plug the difference, but it will be very interesting to see what the world does if environment and AI are both priorities at the same time. Plastic minis and more games. Seriously. Games Workshop brings in more for the British economy than the entire fishing industry. It's actually mad how much people will pay for that stuff when it's so very cheap to make. Please ignore me on my Skaven army over here. It's entirely justified when I do it. It's perfect timing too. 40,000 has a not entirely unearned reputation as a dad hobby. And now that an entire generation of millennial strategy nerds have aged to the point where they have a spare $50–$80 a month to spend on hobbies, Games Workshop is getting a huge proportion of that. We might not be able to throw down money on a $1 and $7 million home, but goddamn it, with enough time we can accumulate a $700 Warhammer army. Mental health and wellness technology, e.g. digital therapy apps, telepsychiatry, and wellness platforms. Storage units. We are basically paying rent for our junk to live a better life than we do. Any industry that fills a void left by having a partner and friends. People are lonelier than ever. So pets, porn, entertainment, distractions, dumbass consumables, looking at you labubu. And obviously, dating apps. Occupit is up 115% at ED. Insolvency lawyers and debt collectors. The porn industry made more money than both the music industry and the movie industry combined last year. Think about that for a second. Walmart. Check out their most recent earnings report. They are killing it. I got downvoted a couple days ago for correcting someone who thought Walmart was suffering from last foot traffic. I wrote these programs back in 1970. I know they just repeat what they're taught, though they can now scour the internet. That actually makes them more prone to stupidity. It's just words. People. Computers live in a world of hearsay. Remote scams and blackmail. Investment scams not counting crypto rug pulls and meme coins. I feel like that's a different area. Service cancellation scams. Romance scams, pig butchering. Blackmail. Pretty much anything that convinces your parents' grandparents to buy a ton of gift cards or go to a crypto exchange terminal. There are entire buildings full with scam call centers. Human trafficking where people are forced into scamming. It's a huge industry now. In the UK, foster care. There is a desperate shortage of beds after 15 years of reduced social spending and stagnating economy. Most councils have upped their rates to self-employed local foster carers. The personal tax allowance for foster carers is huge at 18,000 tax-free plus £250 per week added to this for each child you look after. A foster carer can basically work tax-free. There is still a huge shortage. Due to a lack of local placements, the local authority turns to the markets. Independent fostering agencies are making absolute bank. It gets worse. Private children's homes are basically scalping councils for beds. There was a Rest is Money podcast on how rich individuals are no longer buying properties to rent for retirement income, but starting children's homes, as the profits are so good. So how much are residential homes making? A local authority foster carer might get paid $18–26,000 a year for looking after a child. An independent fostering agency might charge $50–75,000 a year for a placement. A private residential home might charge up to $45,000 a week for a placement. As stated and sourced from the podcast, a single placement, $45,000 a week. So if you want lower council tax, become a foster carer. At it, £45,000 is in rare and extreme cases. The usual is about $5–6,000 per week for private residential homes. Still a huge amount. Missiles. Everything and anything to do with missiles. Solid-state rocket motors. If you are 14–24 and have a hunch you'd be satisfied or even enjoy being a part of solid-state rocket engines, this is your moment. Misinformation. Big money in misinformation. Manipulating people has never been easier, and all the grifters common and charlatans are doing great. From the top of governments and corporations, right down to phishing schemes run out of the slums of a third world country. Top to bottom, business is booming. Travel. Red loves to talk like everybody is living in destitute poverty, but I have worked in the travel industry for 15 years and every sector is up right now. Hotel, air, cruise, tour, luxury, Disney, ski, etc. All of it is up. I was in the UK recently and a tour guide said 95+% of his tours are Americans, and it's all down like 40–60% this year because Americans are not traveling. Also, Vegas just had its 6th straight month of declining numbers. Data industry. Holy shit. I conceived a data company, Appy Automations, for years ago, because I had 7 years in digital ads and I saw the writing on the wall. So I started selling consented data to whoever would buy it. Now since DJT removed all restrictions related to copyright, and essentially data, Allen and BlackRock stole plus are selling the gov data. The marketplace from all angles is exploding. looking at raising 8 figures because the company is in such an amazing position due to criminals making it so. Mega yacht builders. Seriously, it's a booming industry. Thanks for watching. Share your opinion in the comment, like and subscribe. It helps a lot.